All right, the strength of the Tennessee Titans were the running game, which is Derrick Henry, and I think Devonta Foreman before he moved on to the Carolina Panthers as the backup running back for Christian McCaffrey and Chuba Hubbard. That's going to be a dangerous combo, which I'm going to talk about that later in the video. You have the defense. Mike Vrabel is the head coach and the rest of the coaching staff. Now, the weakness is the passing game is Ryan Tannehill. And let's not forget, this is the same dude that turned the ball over 3 times in a home loss playoff game where they were just feasting and beasting on the Cincinnati Bengals, on Joe Burrow. 9 sacks. I mean, they were doing good, but the offense didn't bother to show up. That's what hurt them in the end. So the question is, can the Tennessee Titans get back to the playoffs and exercise the little demons so they can get to the AFC Championship game? We'll find out next month. Now, the Indianapolis Colts, they were 9-8, and they finished second in the AFC South. Their strength was the running game, the defense, the head coach, 50-50. The offensive line, they had a pretty good wide receiving core. There's one big problem with the Indianapolis Colts. Can you take a guess? Carson flipping Wentz. You don't know what in the world you're going to get from that dude. Are you going to get the Philadelphia Eagles version of him? You know, the one that he looked like MVP before he ripped his ACL, or the last couple of years in Philadelphia where he was just below average. So it was like a back and forth, Jekyll and Hyde type of thing. And what hurt the Indianapolis Colts is that the team didn't bother to show up in the last 2 games. Not just one game they should have won. They should have won a couple of games, if not few games. I think I did pick them to make the playoffs. I could be wrong. A year ago. I mean, you should have beat the Las Vegas Raiders. You didn't do that. And you should have handled your business on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You wet bed. So now they move on from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan. The question is, will they make the playoffs? Will they leapfrog over Tennessee Titans to win the NFC South Division crown? We'll find out next month. Now, you have the Houston Texans finish 4-13. I mean, the only bright side is Davis Mills, the quarterback, and not a lot of positive from the Houston Texans. They took a beating last year, and it didn't look pretty. Hopefully, they'll be better. You know, I can see them winning these 5 games, 6 games max. We'll find out. Jacksonville Jaguars, you want to talk about Houston Texans having issues. Jacksonville Jaguars, whoo boy, they had all kind of issues. Trevor Lawrence, well, it didn't help that he came into his rookie season last year injured and missed out the OTAs and training camps and things of that nature. They have some good pieces, but the problem is, to me, I think it was the head coach and the coaching staff. I felt that they were the biggest weakness with Urban Meyer and his nonsense. So it was so bad for Jacksonville, they decided to cut ties with Urban Meyer in the middle of the season, which I don't blame him. But then again, why did you hire him in the first place? I'm all about giving coaches a chance. I'm all about not having, recycling coaches. But at some point, you got to look at who you hiring. Urban Meyer is not a head coach material in the National Football League. I don't see him getting back in that level ever again. That's just me. So I got the Colts winning the division title. The Titans finished second. Jaguars finishing third. And the Texans finished fourth, which is the last place. Now, the NFC South. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers finished 13-4. They were the defending Super Bowl champions that season. They were a couple of plays away from beating the LA Rams and moving on to the NFC Championship game, but they didn't. They lost. And it was a crazy, wild game. They were down big they took the lead. You know the rest of the story in that game. The strength of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady, the offense, the defense, so-so. The biggest weakness is when you are defending Super Bowl champions, you got a target on your back. Not to mention, the injuries did not help them. I felt that the running game was the second weakness, and I truly feel the defense were the weakness, because despite the fact that praises by critics, they didn't play well. Now, like I said, injuries play a role, but they weren't the team that they won the Super Bowl in 2020. So we'll see what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do. Oh yeah, they got a new head coach in Tom Bowles. We're going to see what this new version, the 2022 Tampa Bay Buccaneers can do. Can they win the NFC South in a landslide? Oh, we're going to find out next month. Believe me. The New Orleans Saints, they finished second, 9-8. 9-8, very close of making to the playoffs. They missed out. So the injuries did not help them at all, especially at the quarterback position. That's the big question mark. Sean Payton, I think he did coach there in his last season there before he stepped away. Now it's Dennis Allen as the new head coach getting a second chance. The defense was the strength, and I think the offense were the weakness. I did talk about the quarterback being a question mark. The running game was the wide receiving core 50-50. The question is, can they stay healthy? Can Jameis Winston play not just good but great football? Not turn the ball over? Can they overtake the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Because that's the team that gives Tampa Bay fits. So we'll find out. The Atlanta Falcons finished 7-10 in third place in the NFC South. They had Matt Ryan before he moved on to the Indianapolis Colts. Y'all know the story. They got Marcus Mariota and Desmond Riddler for the rookie in this year's draft. The strength was the offense. The weakness, unfortunately, the Atlanta Falcons, they'll do what Atlanta Falcons do best, not show up. So can they stay out of the basement of the NFC South? Can they make some noise to snatch a wild card spot? Hey, anything's possible. And last but not least, and yes, I will do a separate video talking about my team, the Carolina Panthers, finished dead last, 5-12, 2-6 at home, 3-6 away. Not to mention I think they were 2-4 in their division, if I'm not mistaken. So the strength, yes, the defense were ranked second. I get all that. The wide receiving core, they were the strength too. The weakness, let's start with the defense. They couldn't stop the run to save their life. The tackling, the angle, the technique, all garbage. And let's not forget the fact that they couldn't stop the opposing teams on third down. That's what hurt them. And yes, the stats going to look awesome when you play against weaker competition. No fault of the Carolina Panthers, but that's just how it is. Now let's look at the offense. There were all kinds of problems. The offensive line was trash. I need to see it to believe it if they really improved in 2022. The quarterback position, do I really need to get into that? Running backs, Christian McCaffrey got hurt again. So then the head coach, Matt Rule, and the rest of the coaching staff, I mean, I think they're the biggest weakness of the team. Besides the quarterback, the question is, with all the changes this offseason, we're 1 month away from NFL season. Will the Carolina Panthers make the playoffs? Either Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold. My guess is Baker Mayfield, but I don't see that happening. I got Buccaneers, Panthers, Saints, and Falcons. I'll give you my final picks and who's going to make it to the Super Bowl and win it all. Thanks for listening. Salute.